not attempt to adjust your sense. This is the World Makers Consortium.
Hey, welcome to World Makers Consortium, episode 34. I was a little slow on the draw bringing the camera up there, but it is what it is. We're totally unscripted, semi-funded, I guess, now. I got to thank all the Patreon supporters out there. You're keeping the lights on, giving us all these extra fancy features on StreamYard. So without further ado, I'm going to bring out the co-host for tonight. Well, my co-host every Friday night, Famous Studios. What's going on?
What's going on, boys and girls, children of all ages, everybody in between? How are we? Happy Friday over here on the WMC. What's up, Rad?
Just living the dream. Busy week at work. And you look like you're ready to head out to the park for some dinosaur adventures there.
I was thinking I just would get a little cozy here in my new, Famine Studios Rusty Jackalope Provisions Company shirt. And I thought I'd dress up. It was a special occasion. I just wanted to be amongst the people, be ready for adventure, ready for anything.
All right. Well, hopefully it, turns out for the better anyway. You could be like that dude in what's that show, Walking with Dinosaurs, where he's got the quad. He's like going around filming dinosaurs. That would be dope. Yeah, so we're going to bring out the, oh, go ahead before I bring
the dude would die. He would die in the atmosphere of the dinosaurs, but hey, it's science fiction. It's all good.
Oh yeah, man. There might be a few people out there that think that is a real documentary, but I don't know.
Plus, let's be honest, I can't wear the WMC shirt every Friday, so I had to change it up a little bit, but I feel like somebody on this stream should probably have that shirt on. Let's check on Eddie and see what he's wearing tonight.
Eddie,
what's that on your shirt, bro? What is that? That's good.
What's this?
Very nice.
You know what it is, baby. You know what it is.
Nice.
Hi guys.
For anybody,
hi everyone in the chat.
There we go. And for anybody who wants that, I'm going to scroll that link down below there. And I was organized tonight, and I pinned it in the chat. So the link to get one of your very own WMC World Makers Consortium t-shirts, link is in the chat. It's pinned at the top. It's going up under the screen here right now, so you can get that. And I was a little delayed. I was going to have a new shirt for this week, but I'm going to have to hold off till next week. But I am going to say there is a contest coming up in March. For anyone that has you got to have a WMC shirt. I'm sorry. That's just the way it goes. But we're going to get pictures of you guys with your collections, or if you're camera shy, you can do a picture of your collection with your WMC shirt. And the grand prize is going to be $100 in Amazon dollars. And that is whatever country that you live in. So I won't punish you by giving you a $100 Canadian Amazon card. So you only have $5 to spend on Amazon. The card will be your local currency. And no getting pounds, because pounds is the valuable currency. I know where you guys live, so no cheating the system.
Can I win it? Can Eddie and I win?
No, absolutely not.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Sorry, man.
Well, sorry.
You guys work here, so you can't win anything.
It's true, I do work.
I can't win anything. I only give things away.
Work here now? What?
All right, well, enough screwing around. Let's bring out our guest for tonight. We're going to bring out New Mandalore to the show tonight. What's going on, man?
What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. I'm happy to be here with y'all.
It is a happy Friday.
Oh, TGIF, man. What a week.
Happy to have you.
What a freaking week. So before before we get talking to you too much here, I'm just going to do a few shout outs. Holy cow, guys. You guys are like filling up the chat here. We got Lord of Thane. He was here earlier. Not sure if he's staying up or if he's wishing us luck with those mighty fists of Thor hammering together there in his comment. We got Bjorn. We always trip over him in the parking lot when we get here. But it's nice and warm today, so there was no snow to shovel, so that is very thankful. Defiant, Outer Rim Station there. Yeah, sure enough. Thanks for coming out, man. We got that creep famine in the freaking comment or in the chat here again.
Who invites that guy?
Every week,
I
man.
know. Justin is here. Bud Skipper is here today. What else we got? We got Task Force Figures and Games. Thanks for coming out. PLM 2212. Thanks for coming out again, man. Definitely recognize your tag in the chat section time. Yes, it is Canadian time, Bobby. Who is also Mud Scuffer. I just figured that out a little while ago. So, Brian is here.
Hang on. Before we jump
Outer
in further,
Multiverse.
when he says, Mud Scuffer says, now that I put the 2 and 2 together, all I can picture is peak 2000s rock. You know, just always The Rock says, blah, blah, blah. So now every time Bobby is, Mud Scuffer says, what's going on, guys? All I can picture is him raising the eyebrow, the cow vest with the big belt buckle like he was doing in the Hollywood heel version. I'm just saying, I picture you as The Rock Scuffer. So, it's wild out there.
I like it.
And Brian's here. Thank you. He's one of our Patreon supporters as well as David Dunn. Thanks for coming out, man. Starboy Station, another one of our Patreons here.
Our boy.
Who else we got? We got Twi'lek Tabletop is here. Right on. Starboy Station is here. And our good friend Fatback Station. What's going on, brother?
What's up,
Thanks
good brother?
for coming out to the show tonight. And Pirates of the Galaxy. So you can check out his and Lord of Thane's show on every Wednesday night, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called Whip Wednesday, and Whip stands for Wizards in Pajamas, just so everybody knows.
Love it.
We got Triple D Hope is here again. We got, oh my God, you guys are getting like buried in this comment. Well, if I missed you in the shout outs, I will definitely hit you up later on in the show.
My dog has a $20 bill in his mouth. Give me a second. Give me that.
Bro.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He was doing some work, man.
That's like a hundred Canadian dollars, man.
I had a pair of blue jeans with the laundry to go, and he found it in the pocket. He found a clip bar wrapper and a $20 bill.
Yep.
Oh.
Sounds good.
There's worse things you could find in a pocket, I guess. That's pretty tame.
Yeah.
But before we get into any more stuff here, I just want to let everybody know in the comments I am going to be reaching out to do my I'm going to start my virtual interviews for station people. The documentary I'm going to start working on. Well, I've started working on it. So the documentary I'm working on is going to be released hopefully later next year or this year. Around Christmas time, I'm thinking. So I'm going to be reaching out to everybody, and don't get I'm going to get around to everybody. So if I don't ask you in the first 6 weeks, don't get all butthurt. It just means I'm working through my list of people that I need to get through. And I'm going to start that way. I got a trip to the States planned this summer. So I'm going to go down, kind of do a horseshoe loop. Hopefully I know over at Famine's place, and then I can skate back to over the border in Niagara Falls. So we'll see how that goes. But so that's the big news for me. And without further ado, here we go. Let's talk about New Mandalore. So what has inspired you to start building this station or your world and stuff?
Yeah, man. I think really just that year of, which felt like 5 years, but the main year of COVID when everything was shut down, kind of started playing with my toys again after I had kind of taken a hiatus because there was nothing else to do. And, I really I think all of us as kids, whether it's magic marker or paint or whatever, always messing around with our toys, coming up with stories, taking stuff out of the kitchen and building stuff and making places for things to play in. And it was just oh man, I kind of stumbled across some stuff on Instagram and was I didn't know that people actually did this. we were kind of having a conversation earlier, and it was just like the only time I really saw people with their toy collections is generally when it was in the package and it was on some documentary or something. So just kind of stumbling across the world building community, it was like, oh, this gives me like ideas of like things that I can do with my toys. And it's honestly, man, it's just fun. Like it's something to do outside of work and other things. It's an escape. And like you meet really cool people too. So like the community part is really pretty cool too.
Yep. Yeah, awesome, man. I've been following you for a little while on Instagram. You're on my hit list of people to have on the show. So finally you're here. But definitely you're very, very Mandalorian inspired. And what kind of draws you towards like that faction or whatever?
Yeah, man. I think it's cool like how much like effort has been put into like the lore and like the stories of the Mandalorians. I mean, don't get me wrong, like armor is just cool in general. Like that's pretty badass, but it's also just like the culture, like all of the aspects of like, the Mandalorian code, like the sort of the good and the bad side of the Mandalorians. Like all of the, sort of dynamics between like the warring clans and factions. It just makes for a really cool, like sort of like group that's within the larger Star Wars universe and within fantasy and sci-fi in general. So I've just been drawn to it. And I think a lot of us as kids, like the first time that we saw like Boba Fett, like that just kind of did it, right? Like the stormtroopers are one thing, like people love stormtroopers, but like the first helmet that I saw in Star Wars that was like, wow, man, like I want one of these. I wish I could do this. You see somebody flying around with a jetpack with this helmet on and shooting blasters like an intergalactic cowboy. It's like the most badass thing in the world.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I like that. Well, it's weird too how Boba Fett became like, no lines in the movie, like, and he just became like the most like popular thing. Like even when it came for me to create my avatar, I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna be like a Mandalorian Jedi because those are like the awesomest things that you can be ever in the whole universe.
Totally agree. Totally.
Yeah, it's like it's the man with no name. It's Clint Eastwood. He doesn't say much. He doesn't have to. His presence spoke for himself. Han Solo's like, Boba Fett's here. Like he immediately couldn't see and was like terrified. And that's like one of the great things about it. And I was with you. Like that was the first, their helmet was their own, right? Like it was very much this standing out, that T visor, that traditional, just like, it stood out against everything else. And it was like, oh shit, that dude's badass. And like over the years, like showing off my tattoo, like that was my first Star Wars tattoo. I was like, I am absolutely going to get the Mythosaur skull tattooed on me because Boba Fett is such a badass. The Mandalorian, before we knew it was the way, the Mandalorian code was so cool. Like they were a warrior culture, but they were also like put emphasis on intelligence and, things like that. And I was like, this shit's so cool. So I feel you there.
So, fam, when you're gonna have to start chasing Wentzilla around the room, he's got a 20 in his mouth.
I told him he's got to give me a kiss if he's got a $20 bill in his mouth. I'll get it out.
Yeah, we don't want him choking. And speaking of choking, speaking of choking on stuff, he doesn't want to go and be mouthing off.
Right? Yeah.
I go mouthing off anyone tonight, please.
Go there, man. Yeah, Wendzilla's in the chat now, so it has to go there, I guess. We missed you, brother, but yeah. Thanks for coming out in the chat, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir.
But
so now I completely lost my train of thought. So why don't we get into like a few pictures here? We'll start kind of going through the little bit of a tour of the station. So here's this is just a cover page. It kind of gives you like a big sort of splash of the station or whatever, but as we go through these, you can kind of explain what is going on, and we will ask our questions accordingly as usual.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I think the thing that I'm the most proud of, to be honest, like before I sort of get into like the breakdown of what we have here, is like when I first started doing this, which was obviously not too long ago. I'm pretty new to this, but like folks have been really welcoming. I knew I didn't have a ton of space. Probably like a lot of folks that I've talked to on here, like they have like partners and significant others, and like my girlfriend was only going to tolerate so much room in the house being used for this, in this room, even in this room. which is my office, but I knew I had to build up. So like shout out to Hondo Onaka, who was really helpful on that. But I'm really like just sort of like happy with how much I've been able to cram into like a small amount of space going up. And I was looking online today and folks were talking about the earthquakes here in California. And like, frankly, this was the first time I had a pretty significant rumble and nothing fell down. So I feel pretty good about what's put together so far.
Nice.
Yeah, man,
Yeah, and it's actually. Oh, go ahead, man.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, no, I was gonna say it's a pretty decent spread, and you can always like pull the drawers out of that dresser and just throw the clothes away and put little shelves in there and keep building your station. So
Yeah,
it's all
that's how
good
you get me kicked out of this house.
So you got in this spot, you got 10 locations, you got 80 Mandalorians. Holy crap, that's like so many. You got more Mandalorians than I do. I'm jealous now. So you got, oh my god, man, you got like so much crap just like packed into just this like small area. And this is like kind of explain what all this is. I love the filters you've used on here anyway.
Thanks, man. I've been playing with a lot of different kinds of filters, just like learning from folks doing different photography and editing things. But like this is like the main area in the shipyard. This is where folks go get like all of their like speeders, or like if they have like a larger vehicle, whether it's a land vehicle or something that flies, they go get all that stuff fixed and they go source parts. So this is where that happens. It's also kind of where the welcoming committee comes if you land here. So that's why it's so much security.
No doubt. Yeah, I love that sign. Did you make that sign or?
No, I actually bought this from somebody, and I'm feel really bad because I'm blanking on their name. I had been looking at it for a few months, and they were really cool about it and made me a deal after they saw I kept putting it in my save box in eBay. I'll have to figure it out who it was, but it's like the favorite, probably my favorite building that I have. I love the sign as well.
That sign of how loudly facing east. That's brilliant. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's good stuff right there.
That is awesome. And then Tank the Immortal's here. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, definitely agree. That's like totally looks dope. You haven't seen nothing yet, man. This is like slide number 2 of who knows. I don't even remember how many slides. Thousands. No, we won't go that way. But so our next little picture here. Oh, here's another one. It's kind of the full spread. I love the 3, 2, 1. Like, I don't know. This is crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude. This was like, it's cool. So like I did source some of the buildings from other folks that are like world makers, but like some of the small like tissue box buildings, those are things that I did on my own. And like, it's kind of like I can tell when I make like some of the other buildings don't look as good as these. I kind of like feel like I'm making smaller improvements the more I keep playing with them. But again, like really right now, this is that same area on the station. It's just a larger view, but we're in the middle of a full scale assault on the station right now. So that's where these pictures are coming from. It's kind of what's happening on the station right now. I have some Imperial remnants that are attacking the station.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of people mention.
Yeah, and like I said, like, oh no, go ahead, man.
I've heard a couple of people mention when they start their world building, they start putting together, they start buying from different people. They worry about it like not matching, and I'm like, well, drive around your neighborhood. Like, do they all match? No, they're all in the same place, but they all look different in one way or the other, so it's okay. And like I like that because it adds so much character, and it also adds visual interest. Like even if it's more plain than something somebody else made, or something that you made yourself is more detailed than something somebody else made, it adds character to the world and also like elevates your display. So like I think that's really neat that you've got all these different setups by different people, different things that you've made yourself. It adds a wider scope of evolution of what you got going on. It shows that everything wasn't just boom plop there one day. Over time things show up. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I don't know if there's like a thing that's like a basic world builder, but like I feel like I'm basic because like, of course, this is set on Tatooine. And I just like every time I think of Tatooine, it's like some of the buildings are like mud huts that look exactly the same. But like when you get into the markets and some of the other places, it's like randomness, right? It's like ordered chaos. And that's exactly what I was going for by mixing and matching these buildings. I actually think it looks good that they don't all look the same.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice
Looks
setup
great.
and a great layout, you know, to showcase the differences, but also like it's all one spot. Like it very much says this belongs here, right? Like that's what I always go for is I want the thing to look like it belongs. It might be unique, but it certainly looks like it belongs there.
Right, for sure. Right. Totally agree. Defiant. Yeah, I definitely not. Of course, Brian's gonna notice the Joy toys. He's only bought a couple toys this year so far. So.
And, you know, it's actually kind of funny that he noticed that. I was visiting my parents. Like I'm originally from Tennessee, and I went into a local toy store there because now whenever I travel somewhere, it's gonna have to travel a lot for work. I just like find like random vintage toy stores to go into, and like so many of the vintage toy stores are also selling like Joy Toy stuff. And they had like this huge sale during the holidays. Like all these figures were like $8 a piece or something like that. And I just kind of looked at them, and I had been talking to some other guys, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm planning this big attack on the station. And I was looking at them, and I was like, oh, these like look like kind of like a contemporary opposite of the Mandalorians. So like it's like a good fix to have them come in and fight them as well.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Hell yeah.
That's
No,
great.
for $8 a piece, I would have been like, all right, I'm eating, you know, my pay balance for meals when I travel. That's gonna sit there in my pocket. I'll get a package of ramen. I'll eat that at the hotel, or I'll load up on breakfast at the Continental Breakfast Bar and have some cereal for dinner, man. I'd be picking them up. That's a great deal. Damn.
For real.
I love Mudscuffer's comment here. Could you imagine right now if there's another live stream going and all our wives are talking about how stupid our world building is?
I don't know what that's like. That kills me. I feel so bad when I see guys that are like, my girlfriend or my wife or my partner doesn't want me to have my toys and stuff. I'm like, my girl's been 1000% supportive. She's like, you know, your bills are paid. You know, who cares? Like, you know, like always supportive, or I'll be at a place and she's like, well, what about that? Could you use that? Blah, blah, blah. Like, oof, I would go nuts. I feel like I had one partner, one girlfriend years ago that tried to like get me to get rid of my stuff. And I was like, it's a really suspicious thing for you to be asking me to do right now. Mm-hmm. You know, like what's going on here? Are we trying to split up? Like what's happening here?
Yeah. I'm pretty lucky. It's actually for the best. We go to Target together. We both love Target. It's like our happy place. And sometimes she tells me to put a few things back, and it's probably their impulse buy. So it's for the best.
Target, you walk into Target, you don't know what you want. You leave there after Target's done telling you what you want. I feel you there.
Exactly.
But you can get popcorn
to anyone. I don't answer to anyone.
You can get pops at Target. Yep, absolutely.
Oh wow. Jason Jensen is here. Yeah, definitely. He's got a couple new videos up. Go check those out. One's kind of a how to kind of start your train set or whatever, and the other one's like a sci-fi, obviously. But yeah, his station's come along like killer. He's got some really, really nice setup. So
yeah.
Excuse me. Just everybody go check out Jason Jensen for sure.
Rad, can you pull up Bjorn's comment for New Mandalore real quick?
If I could find it. Where are you, Bjorn? Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Oh, dope. You're from Nashville. Okay. Yeah, I'm like a couple hours away in Memphis. So yeah, I'm right there.
What I touch.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And when you messing with the slideshow?
Not intentionally. No. I hit up Gatlinburg.
Stop touching things.
My hands are out.
Things.
I hit up Gatlinburg whenever I get down to North Carolina and head over to Tennessee.
That's awesome. You go to Wax Museum?
What's that?
The Wax Museum in Gatlinburg?
No, we did the Ripley's Aquarium, but usually it's to hit up the winery, and there's a couple of eateries out that way that we like to go to. But I want to start, when I travel back that way again, I want to start hitting smaller toy stores and stuff like that. That's on my list this year of things to do, is like check out more independent toy stores.
Arkansas, nice.
Brian's from Arkansas.
He's from Arkansas.
Arkansas.
It's how it's spelled.
Arkansas.
When you look at Kansas, do you say Kansas or do you say Kansas? So why wouldn't it be Arkansas? I don't understand.
Arkansas.
Except in Arkansas, they probably shoot you for saying that. So
That's fine.
what you got.
Their vision's so fucked they won't be able to hit me. Yeah, I said it.
Oh, come on, Brian, come back with some of the comments. Well, we're moving right along. So we've got Gate Alpha. So obviously, this is probably your control point.
Yeah, man. So there are two ways of entering the station other than entering by air and getting permission to land. This is like the primary gate. So this is where really like all of the artillery, all of the barriers are set up. A lot of the land vehicles are there, also kind of used as mobile barricades. But this was pretty fun making, actually, because again, like it would, I think the only time I've like made any other like sort of like diorama pieces that are like natural stuff that aren't desert stuff is like jungle, but that's like I'm still like working on it. I'm getting better at it. I really can only do a good job of making like deserts and like really rocky areas, so it was fun for me to do this and kind of piece together some dioramas that I had built for some photography I was doing and use that to make like the ground for like the front gate here as well. So that was pretty fun. I'm also happy that stuff is just like, frankly, not falling apart and standing up like the plaster, because my dog, every time he comes in this room, like jumps down on top of it. I don't know how it hasn't broken yet.
That was killer. What is that that red and black vehicle out front there? That thing looks cool.
Oh, shout out to TX Customs, man. He made that. I bought that, and I've got a smaller land vehicle from him as well. He actually had made it for something else, like Eagle Force or something. And I was like, hey, dude, can I pay you $5 and you just like take the decal off for me? Because I'm going to use it for my Mandalorian faction, basically the Mandalorians. So it fit in really good. I really like it. It's fun to play with too.
Yeah, it definitely matches those Mandalorians too, for sure. Yeah, you definitely. Yeah, the lore is really cool. And I was gonna say too, when you had those facts up, I think tonight we're gonna witness something that everyone's gonna start doing when you have the station stats. Like that is such a cool idea. It's like so many areas and this many people live here, and it's like that brochure you get when you go to a town or something. It's like, welcome to dumb fuck wherever, and like here's how many people live here. We have 4 ice cream shops and 1 coffee shop or some bullshit. I don't know. I'm just trying to make shit up as I go along.
Sugar diabetes, capital of the fucking universe, right there.
I noticed.
Shops
I noticed.
God damn.
That's awesome, man. So yeah, the next pick here. So this one's got some crazy filters on it, but this is sort of Gate Alpha in like a artistic style, I guess we'll call it, because of the filters.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, this is very much tied to the story that's going on right now. So actually, like, this is just showing that like the thank you. The Avatar creature, that big rhino. Like I've been using as many mounts as I can. In fact, I'm like waiting to plug in some mounts from Stargate. I found some of those old ones for pretty cheap. But yeah, this was tied to the story that's going on right now. Basically, like if you go look at the Instagram, like there was a huge assault on Gate Alpha, and like now the Imperials have actually taken control of that. So this is actually the reason that this looks all grainy like this is that it's like footage from a probe droid feeding back to Thrawn. So it's just like kind of playing with what's happening in the story and seeing what I can do with the filters based on that.
That's dope. That Imperial. Oh, sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
That Imperial troop carrier there, is that the newest one, or is that the old Joe one from the 80s?
I have both.
Okay.
Yeah, so I restored the old one. I found some old pieces for that, and then I have the newer one as well, which is it's badass, man. The paint looks really good on it and the detail, and it's just it's a fun play, but it also just looks really good in photos. Whether you're like going for more like realistic stuff or like kind of like the cartoonish like things I'm doing here. So I love both of them.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
If you were to pick one right now, same price, which one would you pick?
I don't know. I like the OG one, but the new one, because like the detail, and the playability is just it's awesome. Actually, but I think I also like there's that third one as well. I actually want one. I don't have it yet. I can't remember which line of Star Wars toys that is off the top of my head. That one looks a little bit more cartoonish than either of these two. But I actually think like for folks that are doing stuff with like remnant forces, like it's actually nice to have a mix of the different vehicles. It's like you're scavenging for whatever you can get, right? Like how long has this been sitting on an Imperial base somewhere out of use? So it's kind of that actually makes it kind of cool.
Look at a U.S. convoy. If you're ever driving on the highway, you see them like they've got, desert, they've got OD, they've got it's just straight up tan. Like there's a woodland camo. We have Fort Drum, probably 110 miles away from here, but they convoy down through New York State all the time, and you just see a mix of vehicles that were still painted up when they came back from Afghanistan to new ones that are in green camo. So you could have your variety of ships. I'm just curious because I have an opportunity to pick one of those up, and it's about the same as one of the new ones, and I'm like, do I want the old one? Because I used to have the old one. I don't know what the hell happened to it. I have no clue where the hell it went. It was when I was younger. And I'm like, do I want the old one for like nostalgia, or do I want the new one? So you kind of helped me out on that. So thank you.
Yeah, man. I'm glad it was helpful.
Well, I missed a question in the chat here. I don't know if Jason was talking about the last slide, but he's asking what the ship above it was. Was that the last slide?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's one of the tanks from the Clone Wars. Actually, is sitting there. I just didn't roll it out in my story, but like again, I was also kind of going with like the like new Mandalorians that we're seeing right now, since like Bo-Katan is kind of like taken over. Like even like the fleet that they have is like basically stuff that they've scavenged and stolen from other places. So I was like, why not? Why wouldn't they have like some leftover like rusty like Clone Wars era tank as well? So that's what's sitting there.
That's what Bo's familiar with too. That's what her, when she was fighting on Mandalore, she was working with clones. Why wouldn't they leave their tanks? And what was it, the N64 game where they had that tank as a playable vehicle, man? That thing, I love that tank. That's a dope vehicle. Yeah.
Well, look, Lord Athane answered the question for him, but I didn't see that. But it was absolutely a Republic tank with the 501st colors. Better A Bob's here. Thanks for coming out. Definitely, and Tuna on Rye. I don't think I've ever seen you before. Thanks for coming out to the show tonight, man. Good stuff. So, and I was gonna say too with this, I was like, oh, here I am, like thinking he's playing with filters, but no, of course you got like a reason why they're like that. That's a really cool idea with the scanner idea. I'm like, oh yeah, he's got a story for this too. That's really awesome, man. And here we go. We're getting into the barracks. So give us a rundown on the barracks.
Yeah, so this is actually still in development. I have like a lot more work to do on this, but this is actually probably one of my favorite places on the station, just because, like, I don't know, man, I really love, like, Darth Maul is probably, like, a lot of people, like, one of my, like, favorite characters. Like, can't get enough of them. They could give us more screen time, more story, and I would be perfectly happy. But, like, just like the Mandalorian faction, and like, just thinking about, I'm curious like where like the new Star Wars stories are going to go. Cause like, there's gotta be like way more people left over from that faction, like that are either like, involved in criminal syndicates, and like, is like Bo-Katan or whoever going to like pull them into the fold. And that's kind of what I was thinking with this. I was like, why wouldn't she be reaching out, trying to recruit any Mandalorian she could? And so like all of these guys, there's a bunch of customs in there as well. I basically wanted to like have them look like total like roughnecks. So that's what's going on here. There's a firing range on the barracks. There's a much larger building behind these two. You can kind of see the lockers behind there that has like tables and lockers. Most of these have like beds in them. Some of them have like a lighting system with like smaller lockers. And then there's like a small command center. That's that first room on the right. And obviously there's like docking areas on the top. In fact, Bo-Katan's ship is the one that's sitting at the top being guarded. Of course, she'd leave it here with them. And then I have some speeders that are kind of out of picture right now on the left-hand side that are docked by some computers that are running scans. So this is like one of my favorite places on the station.
Yeah, it's definitely killer. And I love that story because I always liked in that video game, Knights of the Old Republic too, when you had Canderous in your party. every planet you went to, if there was Mandalorians, you'd be like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Like, you're pissing around here. Like, go back to Duxon. Like, I'm getting everyone together." And they're like, "All right, see you there, buddy." And they just like all trucked off to there. But no, I love that whole like kind of gathering everybody up and getting ready for the whatever Mandalorians do. But yeah, here's a nice picture of your crew, man. I love the shot.
You picked a great timeline for that too, because like you said, they could be involved with crime or whatever. Like there's that weird gap of time where Maul isn't, doing the crime syndicate, and then we get a glimpse of him in Solo, and now there's some comics coming out, but like then we find him in Rebels, and he's like a worn, decrepit. You say decrepit, but the motherfucker can still go. He's an old decrepit hermit, basically, who's been hiding out, just like the Jedi. Just like it's the most bizarre thing, because if the world were just a little different, he would have been with the Jedi too. Like he would have been discovered, but he's hiding out. He's a hermit. He's by himself. He's not causing crime anymore or nothing. And then all of a sudden he pops back up. So that where's this story? Where, what goes on? We don't quite know 100% yet. So you picked a perfect like section to tell those stories. So that's really dope. Like that's brilliant storytelling right there.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. And I love that red heavy, man.
Oh, yeah man.
My brain immediately is like anything that's big and red, it's like Kool-Aid, but like at the same time, like that's so badass. Imagine that dude tearing through a wall and just letting out his minigun on somebody.
Yeah. Now, Lord of Thane won't be able to sleep tonight because Baldy is giving him the creeps.
Dude, that's so mean. That's so mean, Lord of Thane. How would you say that?
Oh yeah, it does look like famine too.
It's a great head sculpt. It's a great head sculpt.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I don't think I can make my eyebrows that mean looking.
No, it really is. He's probably actually my favorite figure on the
It
station.
almost looks like the head that the.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no. Yeah, I was just saying. Am I wrong to assume that one of your favorite colors or your favorite color is red?
You know what's funny? I hate red. Like I won't wear it at all. It's just like I feel like it looks weird on me. But for some reason, like when it comes to like action figures, I've always like thought that like red action figures are cool. I don't know what it is. It's also like why like so like most of my collection and most of the things that I like buy from other people or buy like in store or make myself are either Mandalorians or they're like Sith troopers or like Imperial guards. Like I don't know. I just think the red looks badass. It's like menacing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. For me, black, white, and red is my favorite color combo. And I have a Mandalorian kit that I've been slowly putting together. And like when it's together and painted, it's going to be black, white, and red. And it's just there's something about the striking of the color red that's like universal. It's like it's an attention grabber. That's why, a lot of signs where like you need somebody to pay attention, red. Well, guess what? An army of dudes dressed in red show up. They want you to pay attention.
Yeah, for sure. There's like nothing subtle, right?
Yeah. Camo, what is that? We never heard of it. We just rock up in red jackets. Like,
here we are.
Hey, we're here. We're here, guys.
Samurai
so
style.
In case if people weren't sick of looking yeah, really, yeah. So in case anybody wasn't sick of looking at Mandos, here's another picture of Mandos.
Never get sick of looking at Mandos.
Might have a
Somebody found those heavies on sale. You must have found a bunch of those heavies on sale, did you?
Yeah, so I bought 2 customs, and there was another one that I made, and then I had someone else made like a male like Night Watch Mandalorian for me that's in the middle that I really love. That's cool as well. And then there's on the side one of them that's cut out because I think she just fits in really well. Like I just don't play. I have little cousins that play. Oh man, why am I forgetting now? Fortnite. There's like a Fortnite character that's sitting up really well. I just think she goes really well with like the Night Watch Mandalorians as well. So she's there as well. But like, yeah, man, I love the heavies. There's just so much that you can do with them, and they look so great. And they look pretty cool too with like some of the figures that are a little out of scale. They actually make everything mesh together a lot better.
Yeah, man.
That actually makes a lot of sense. So here we go, the famous shipyard where I saw you were posted on Instagram that there was a big incursion there or something today.
Yeah, man. That's currently what's happening right now. So this actually gets like I don't change the structure of it at all, and I actually do plan on building up a little bit more. I'm actually planning on building like some smaller structures for some of the smaller characters are here that are like Jawa sized and Grogu sized. Yeah, so this like we have a lot of different ships that park here for different photos. Like obviously Slave One's been up there. We've had an N1 that sits up there and a couple of other things. It's just like gives me quite a bit of space to like put vehicles up there and play around. And I actually plan on at some point, and it's funny, I actually recounted my Mandos today because I had a few more come in the mail. I actually have 100, so I do have a problem. But I actually plan on putting them all like at attention at some point, like where the shipyard is, because like it's the best like open like flat area on the station.
Oh, that looks killer, man. I love that, like the spread and like the we talked about before, that the boxes, and yeah, it's just got like such a cool vibe to it, man. And here's just some random shots. These are some shots that I thought were cool that I ripped off your Instagram.
Yeah, man. Again, like using those cheap Joy Toys I got to they were like the first like forces that like attacked the station. They like, very much it's where my mind went because it was one of the things I went to school for. But like I was like, oh, obviously you would want to like make sure that like you have control of the air if you attack the station. So this was the first place that they went. And they started unfortunately taking prisoners and like executing like some of the maintenance staff that are there. But yeah, it's been fun playing with this area.
Awesome. Playing with my 3.75 is here. Hey man, thanks for coming out. Better late than never.
Yes, sir.
Eamon wants to see more of Mandalorian, so that's what we're going to do right now.
I do. And I just love the idea of using those Joy Toys like invaders. That's clever. I'm all about those, especially when they drop to like $15 on Amazon. I'm like buying the army builders, and like their armor is great because you can get it all the way off most of those figures. So you wind up with just like civilian bodies, and it's swappable. It can fit on a lot of other stuff, and like there's so much opportunity there. So it's cool to see. Number one, that is a hell of a deal. I still keep going back to that number, and I'm blown away. But like number two, like you're making the best out of them. Really great.
Then we got the throne room.
Yeah, dude. This place is cool. Again, like I was planning on walling all of the structures off in like that like tall like multi-tier tower area, and I may do that. But I actually kind of liked leaving it open like this because it was like, oh no, if they're just building this place, there may not be any walls up yet. And all these dudes have got like jetpacks, so they're going and coming, right? So I don't know. I use like the Batman playset that came out for like the upper area, those like stairs up there, and then in the back behind Bo-Katan's seat, there's like the weapons display that comes from Halo, the 3.75 they put out a 4-inch. And then that table a friend on eBay made for me that I really like. And that table is actually really cool too, because like in that photo that you have on the right hand side, if folks go look at that on Instagram, it's probably the photo I'm the most proud of. Like it was unintentional. Like I felt like I got the lighting really good, but also like there's a reflection of every single one of those Mandos on the table, and that was not intentional at all. It's just
it's very Last Supper. It's very Last Supper
for sure.
I think that's what it's labeled as on Instagram. I think it's actually labeled as the Last Supper.
I slept on that.
This. So your marketplace,
that Batman playset, man, and I kicked my ass because like people were getting it for like $6 on Amazon.
Yeah,
I slept on it.
Yeah,
I got it for $6 on Amazon.
Same. Yeah, dude, the market is an interesting place. So like I was telling you that like actually just above this tier is like where like the shipyards and the docking stations are, and that's where you get all your repairs. But of course, if you can't afford I would say like firsthand materials from like the Shistavan like repairman up there, you can obviously come and see the Jawas and they'll make you a deal. They'll definitely rip you off. But you can come in and source some parts down here as well. So
very nice. Yeah, I love these. Like, always love busy spaces. I don't know what it is. So yeah, Boba's place, Pimp Daddy Central. Here we go. I've got a couple pics after this of your interior, but yeah. So obviously you've got a special place for Boba Fett in your station.
Yeah, dude. I love it. So like when I first started, like, because actually when I was building the station, I was immediately writing a story as I was building it. It was kind of like, oh, Boba Fett decided to invite the new Mandalore, Bo-Katan, to like build a base on Tatooine. Like, why wouldn't he? Because there's like also like that might offer him some protection for his businesses since he's also controlling all these crime syndicates now. So I was like, but if there's a station there, Boba's going to want to control the rackets that are on the station, and they're going to be rackets. So that's why we built Boba's place. This actually isn't finished. I actually plan to like tear this off and have this be 2 levels where the top of that like background is the playset that you get from Star Wars, the vintage collection. But yeah, man, it's a fun place. Like I get to have some stories with Boba here as well. So
That's
can,
awesome. And
you can stack those bars. That back wall does actually stack perfectly. It slots behind that archway. I needed to get one up out of the way because I've got it set up there. So I was like, oh, let me just see. And it clicked right in place. And I was like, ooh, I like that. So I might get a couple more and do a, big tiered layout. It's good.
Yeah.
And Wasteman, it's not Fam Indiana Jones. It's Jurassic Famine tonight. If you had showed up on time, you would know that. Thank you.
Famine Park.
Yeah. But then we've got kind of the action inside of Jabba's palace here. Like, these are like some really cool shots, man. I love all of these.
Yeah, I like, it's probably pretty obvious from like the photos. Like I clearly love Mandalorians. Like I said, I love like Sith troopers and like Imperial guards, but I loved Shistamins, and I also love Trandoshans. So this just kind of like gave me a place to start to play with some of these other species as well. And obviously like Whoopi Goldberg's in the back, like serving drinks. So it was a little shout out to, I mean, I grew up liking Star Trek and Star Wars. I just love Star Wars a lot more than I love Star Trek. So, but we let Whoopi hang out in the back and serve drinks to folks. So
I have the same Green Goblin hanging out in my world. Same Green Goblin. Love that guy.
He gets around, man. He probably sells death sticks on all the stations. There we go. That's a station activity everyone can do. Everyone needs to get a Green Goblin because he is the death stick dealer, and he travels around to every single station and destroys people's lives. That's what he does.
I love it.
It's so fucked up.
All right, moving right along here. The command center. So this is another busy place on your station.
Yeah, man. And there's a couple different things happening right here. So I use the again, like some of the like diorama pieces from like Joy Toy. Because I was just looking at them, I was like, oh, this goes really well actually with everything. And I was like, I can start to mix and match some of these parts together just with some of the other world building pieces that I had. But I was like, of course, there's like a throne room, and there might be some communications devices and like meeting spaces in Bo-Katan's like throne room, but like there's got to be like an actual technical like nerve center of this station, right? And that's what I wanted to create here. But like for me, like Mandalorians are all about functionality and multi-purpose. So like I was like, just as like there's this meeting area with all these scanning communications devices and mapping systems. There's probably another couple of docking bays sitting right next to here, right? Folks may need to make a quick exit or something like that because you just never know when you're gonna have to fight. So it gave me an opportunity to sort of like do some interesting things with the space.
Oh, that is super cool, man. And then we got and this is that table you were talking about, but it's a little closer up. That is a cool table, man. Holy cow. It's like so shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great reflection off of that, man. That's a good shot.
Yeah, no doubt.
Shot, yep.
Well, then here's another little close up in your command center. What is that table like? Is that just a 3D print?
Yeah, so that was a 3D print. I want to say I got that from was it Making the Past Live Again? Yeah, I really love this table. It's just like that like neon green is really cool. It's like a good contrast with like any figure that you put there because nothing's that color. And if you like, I've done it once and then I like lost it and I dropped my camera. But like I got the lighting right once and it actually looked like it was glowing. So that part was pretty cool. I know there's a version of this table that does have like a small lighting system under it. That's also pretty cool as well.
That is.
Yeah. Some of the older figures too, they included like little holograms and shit like that.
Yeah.
You could prop one of those right on that table and it would look like it, was being projected from there. That's really neat. Like I might have to hunt those down.
I actually did that on one of the small displays, and I think it was in one of the other pictures next to where that longer table is. And actually, that actually fell into my story really well. And I saw somebody else do it, but it was like, oh, this station has got to have like long range scouts that are other places on the planet. And so like every time that like something is going on somewhere else on Tatooine, or either like the first time that like the kind of Imperial remnants come into the story, that's actually what happens. They lose contact with one of the scouts out in the desert. It actually used one of those like holograms on that table for that, which I thought was, just kind of fun to play with.
That's dope.
That's awesome. And then I love this too.
Yeah, this is definitely
so
work in progress. No, you're good. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, sorry. No. Yeah, you go ahead. I was just gonna say, Din Djarin and Grogu have their own little like space or whatever in the station. That's really cool, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Definitely work in progress. Or what did you say earlier? Wizards in pajamas. This is still getting built out. It very much looks like a shanty town right now, but like I kind of was like, I think I was like on Instagram, like the algorithm like shows me toy stuff, shows me like hip hop concerts, and then also shows me like tiny home builds or builds out of like what do you call those shipping containers. And I was like, oh man, these tissue boxes literally look like tissue containers. Like I should keep them looking pretty rough, but I can build stuff around them. So that's what I was doing here. I started collecting like some of those like kind of nicer like dollhouse like area rugs that they have. Like some of them look like Moroccan rugs or whatever, which fits in really well with this as well too. So, but I'm definitely still working on this. I'm really looking for like some 3D printed pieces or some stuff I can kit bash that'll make like a fueling station and some power rods and some different things like that. So this is going to be fun to play with.
Yeah, and I don't know anybody that can hook you up with a bunch of 3D prints at all.
Yeah, we don't know anybody that does 3D printing. No, I don't know anybody who does casting or molding. But, no custom pieces. I have no idea. There's got to be someone out there. I don't know.
Well, you know the good thing. Get paid on the 15th and the 30th of every month, and you will probably find that like by the time this year is over, I will have bought something from just about everybody that's like in the community. But I don't know. That's like something cool with me. Like I like trading, but I also like, if I have a little extra money, I like just like invest in money in people's small businesses and what have you as well. So I will like go buy stuff from like the store, but I think that's why I like custom figures and stuff like that from other people so much. It's just like cool to support people in the community. Cause like I said, people have been really nice the entire time and welcome me. So
yeah,
don't worry, you'll get my American dollars.
There you go. We'll round it out. Yeah,
I don't know about the famine guy. Be careful with the famine guy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's weird.
You had a couple shots of customs
nuisance.
in there, so we've got the pipes of that here.
Yeah, man. So this is actually right under the market area, and there's got like a gigantic door for how you enter here. But like this is like basically if the big gate area is like the main entrance, this is like the secondary entrance into the station. And this one's not as fortified as the other one, but the reason that I call this one customs is that it's got that like table that's actually supposed to be used for the bar, that like circular one. And obviously there's those gun racks in the back, and like the Mandos that are here are like, and if you just like get bored and check out the story on Instagram, like basically if you don't have like a Mandalorian issued carry permit, there are no firearms or any other weapons in the station. So this is where you turn everything over at.
Then you kind of got that barricade there for them to kill people that get out of hand, I guess.
Yeah, man. Especially because this is actually meant to be aerial entry. So like, you know, if you have somebody that comes in a jetpack, even if it's like, you know, a rival Mandalorian like group, want to have like some kind of like barricade and with some artillery up there to be able to like take them out from the air as well, so they don't actually land in the customs area and make it to that big gate, because there's not like a ton of Mandalorian troops up there like there are at that primary gate. There's just that one tank and like that one like E-Web cannon.
That's awesome, dude. But yeah, that's new Mandalore. Definitely go check them out on Instagram. But wait, there's more. We're not shutting her down yet, folks. I'm gonna start a new segment this week, and I don't know. I was like, I don't want to do like shout outs because other people are doing shout outs on their channel. So this segment at the end of the show is now just going to be called Cool Shit I Saw on Instagram this week. So here we go.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Nassau Station. Check out that, like, I don't know.
Saw
If
that today.
Kit bash.
That's a great freaking picture.
I don't even care if it's. I don't care if it's a customer or kit bash. I just think it looks fucking cool, which it does.
Yeah.
And then he's got the chicks here, like all just hanging out. And I love his like. Always got these like awesome little like squads of like so organized people in his chaos or whatever. But yeah, definitely go check out Nassau Station. Like he's got like, that guy's a madman. He needs to like work more and not have time for his station so we can all catch up to him. So. And then next up, we've got Lord of Thane. Look at this shot. There you go. There's those alien heads he was talking about in his little. He's like been getting into like, I don't know how long he's been doing it, but I'm loving the black light and the black light paint. Like that sets it off like just so awesome. And Lord of Thane just bought a green goblin on eBay for a death stick dealer. So I guess I'm gonna have to dig mine out too.
I'm gonna have to dig mine out too. This is.
But yeah, no, I love this like black. All right, so here we go. Green Goblin is the intergalactic death stick dealer, ruining lives and spreading disease.
Mandalore. We did it.
Goes because
we started it.
We did it. We started it. The Green Goblin. He's got somebody next. Everybody who think about it for a week. Yeah, we call him like the death stick knob goblin or something like that. Somebody come up with a name for next
goblins.
I was wondering if you guys are going to catch that.
That's a different kind of addiction there.
It is.
Whoa.
You were a little slow in that, fam, and I was like, oh, I thought he'd get it right away, but he didn't. So
I was shocked and appalled.
Next up, we've got Electric Blue has been working on this thing. I've been following his progress like all week. So he's started off with this like machine with like stuff kind of like glued to or whatever, and like slowly over the weeks I've been like watching his progress on here until I don't know if it's done at this point. It sort of looks done, but yeah, definitely like a cool little land crawler unit he's got there for sure. So definitely go check out Electric Blue Station. He kind of does a mix of like 112, 118th, and they all sort of like live in the same universe. I don't know. Too confusing. Whoa, Eddie, what's this, buddy? Look at this cool shit I found on Instagram this week.
That was Wednesday night, baby.
That was awesome.
That is awesome.
Tell us about this.
So awesome.
What's going on here?
I love it. I just
Do
love
some,
this
like-
thing has a title. This thing has a title. It's awesome. It's 2024.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
I saw that. But hey, wait, man, there's more. Because I saw that you were working on Edelham a little bit there in Wayward Station. So I thought I'd pick out some of your little scenes here. I love this like mech scene, dude. It's like, yeah, let's go like
these guys in.
it up. Nice. I got my set on the way. Nice.
I wanted the orange set, New Mandalore. I saw you have the orange set. I wanted the orange set, but that's pricey.
Yeah, it. I bought two of them because I could only afford two.
And we love Eddie's kit bashers here with the cactus light behind them. That looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I was doing that last night. I was just putting stuff together, pulling stuff apart. As you see, there's Solo with some phase 1 arms. Yeah.
I do like this.
for a casual guy, I'm doing pretty good here. So that
No, man, I was stoked. I was like, yeah, Eddie's like building his station again and shit. This is awesome. I'm gonna like
I'm working
get in on
it. I'm
this while
trying.
it's.
I'm hype. And now
Oh,
today that I saw New Mandalore, I'm super hype.
Awesome.
Very nice, very nice. And then
Yeah.
we've also got oh, that's a good name. I like that, Waste Man. Gangrene Goblin.
Ooh.
Pretty good. That's pretty
Ooh.
good.
Although after you
Okay.
called him a knob goblin, the gangrene is weird.
Not
Just saying.
Not
That's-
weird. Oh man, that's too good. But yeah, and then Famine, you got some little goodies there you want to talk about behind you, do you not?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's
anybody
this
who-
here? I never noticed them.
Yeah, right. Anybody who's into Jurassic or likes to pick up the vehicles, this hit the shelves very recently, and they're already clearancing them at $15 a pop. So if you're looking for a Explorer that's like reminiscent of the one that they made back in '93 or '94, excuse me, where the hood crumples and whatnot, or you want one for your diorama, but you didn't want to smash up one of the nice Target ones, it's literally the same mold with some extra pieces for that, and then it's got a big ass Raptor. I'm not sure why the Raptor's so big and why they use it in the picture. Like that's not the famous scene is the T-Rex, but yeah, for $15, pick it up. I recommend that. And then I also, for nostalgia's sake, because back when Jurassic Park 3 was a thing and Hasbro was producing the figures, they had a lot of 2-packs of the smaller ones. These ones I scooped up for $8 at Walmart. Definitely recommend that. And then I also recommend hitting up your CVS. They still have some of the first edition, the Micro Machines or whatever the hell they are, the Micro Galaxy Squadron first edition on clearance from Christmas for like 90% off. So you could still get walkers and X-Wings for parts and things like that. So check those out.
Nice.
That's really cool.
What's a
Some
glizzy
solid
gobbler?
pickups. Eddie, do you want to talk about any? I don't know what a glizzy gobbler is. I don't know.
Oh,
what
Jesus
it is.
Christ.
You don't want
But
to.
now
We're
they
not doing this tonight. We're
You
not
don't
doing
want to.
I feel like we've set a precedent now with Knob Goblin.
Now I want to.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now everybody's ordering. Hey, we do? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you until my birthday this year. Everybody in the chat and everybody in the community, you have to get a green goblin, customize them into some kind of
Yes.
drug dealer, and you have until my birthday, May 24th, to submit your pictures to me. This is a long way out contest, but I'll come up with some awesome prize. So we need a drug dealing knob goblin, and I need the pictures by my birthday, which is May 24th. And I'll keep reminding you guys, don't worry. So we're going to get all the pictures together, and we're going to pick a winner and maybe a runner up or something, and we'll figure it out. And then remember, in March, there's going to be a contest for 100 Amazon dollars for people with the WMC shirts. I'll give you a little more details on that next week. So that's the March contest. But yeah, definitely we're going to ride this goblin thing out to the end. So you got till May 24th to come up with your drug
we enter
dealing
that
knob.
He said no.
No,
Brad,
I want to see.
One of those World Maker Consortium shirts. Where would I pick up such opulence, such gorgeous threads? Where would I get that?
Well, you see, the link is pinned number 1 in the chat. You can go there. Or
Okay.
you can also go to this, copy and paste it or whatever, throw it in your browser, but
T Public Rad
We'll get
Toys
'em.
Galaxy.
got it. You got it. See, Famine
Gotcha.
figured it out.
Salmon has some shirts on there.
We can all
Nope, I've got some shirts on T Public. I think Eddie might have some shirts on T Public. I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor.
Oh, there
I
we
just
go.
got my
Everybody's got
rusty,
the t-shirt.
Jackalope shirt. So I'm waiting. Next week, I can't wear this every week. So
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, especially if you don't wash it between wearings. You can't wash it every week.
Yeah.
Wear it every week. Good thing we don't have smell-o-vision yet, man. Can you imagine that if you could like smell everything and someone lets a big
I
one
smell
Oh
out?
God, that's the
glorious.
one thing like everybody used to talk about. Like in the future, we'll have smell-o-vision. I am so fucking glad we don't have TV. You imagine being hungry and broke and turning on Food Network? I would be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, or watching a show where a guy's like a comedy where he's taking a big gross dump or something like that.
Or like watching
You,
Dirty Jobs when he's
smell
fucking
it. I mean, it's-
cleaning out the sewers in New York. No,
Oh,
no thanks.
No, man. But there's some pictures you see that you can like almost like they're so awful you can smell them or taste them. It's just like,
Yeah.
Oh. But anyways, on that super positive note, we're definitely rocking and rolling on the hour here. But yeah, so I want to thank New Mandalore for coming out, man. It was great to meet you and have you on the show tonight. I want to thank my co-host Famine Studios. Definitely check out his live streams. Goes by his t-shirts.
Oh,
guy like streams 86 hours a week.
Oh, we got to throw a flag on the play here. Starting next week, Friday nights after World Makers Consortium, we are going to be doing cryptids and customs. We're going to do an hour plus live stream where we talk about whatever cryptid I picked out for the week. I'll do research. We'll talk goofy theories and all that. We'll do some customizing, just have some fun talking about weird and spooky shit late at night on a Friday. So come check that out if you're into that. And Tuesdays, like Brad said, I do my customizing live streams, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there.
So just to answer Stephen Murphy's question, so we also have another show, and I promise I won't miss this one unless the power goes out again. So we got Toy Squad Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check that out, and we're going to be talking about the E-Wing on Monday's show. We're going to be talking about that, a few other toys. It's just kind of a general discussion. Also, I've got a new episode of Sci-Fi Guys out. Going to film another one in a couple weeks with Famine. So go check that show out. Of course, WMC every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, we're just going to give you no shortage of content. Go get your shirts, watch the show. I think I covered everything. So yeah, I guess, yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. And until next time, take her easy.
Thanks, guys.